Drip, drip, drip. What's that? Shh. Can you hear? Drip, drip. It sounds like revenue leaks. Hey there, welcome back to the latest episode of the Juice Bar. Today we're going to talk about revenue leaks, and one of the key causes of revenue leaks is the friction in the buyer's journey process. And so today we're going to look at how to reduce meeting scheduling friction and keep those opportunities moving forward. The other thing I'm going to show you, aside from setting up your meeting links inside of Hubspot, we're also going to set up your meeting types and your outcomes. And the reason for that, look and understand both where people are converting and where they're not. And so knowing and being able to track a meeting from a demo meeting, a discovery call to a demo meeting to a contract discussion, is going to allow you to come back at the end of the year and say, oh, well, I had 32 of this meeting and only 12 of this meeting. So why are they falling off, right? So that's one, that's our yield optimization kind of piece in the Juicy framework, is understanding that. But the other reason that this is important is it allows us to track and help automate people through the through your pipeline and through your customer journey. So once they've completed a demo call, you may be able to update their customer lifecycle and therefore automatically enroll them into a workflow that is more appropriate for somebody that has just had the demo call, right? So you can kind of use this to create a system and move people through your customer journey. Now, today we're going to cover the exact setup that helped one of my clients increase their meeting conversion rates. And I think that it's really good. So if you look here in my demo account, we go to this settings icon, it pops this up, we scroll down, and we select meetings. Now, there's two things we can look at. We can track the meeting outcomes, which is great. This is preset, and if your outcomes could be different, you can update that. So that could include, let's say, for example, other than these, let's say you decided that this was a client that's better fit for somebody else on your team, so you could reassign them. You could also, maybe they do an on-site, on-hand cash purchase, right? So that could became a customer, right? So there's a lot of things that you could update this to. The second thing that we're going to look at is your meeting types. So it could be that you go from a discovery call to a demo call to a contract proposal call, right? So by doing this, what you're going to be able to do is, to, again, as I kind of mentioned earlier, tracking these calls as these steps in your user journey. Now, where we're going to look next is we're going to look at your meeting scheduler. So now, of course, my calendar is not connected because this is the demo account. But you can create a new meeting. You can name the meeting. This is a discovery call meeting. The organizer is you, the event title. Now this will show up and you can personalize it. So one thing I like to do, because if you just name it the same thing, the same meeting appears in your calendar all of the time. So personalizing is nice. So I might say, exploring the fit. And then I'd put a company token, and you could put the company name in there, and the contact token. What I would do maybe for the contact, I personally like to put the contact's name. You can put whatever name. But the other thing I like to do is keeping in mind that they also are going to get this in their calendar. So you probably want to put something so they know. So I might have this be a standard, revenue juice, exploring the fit with the company and the first name of the person. You can add your Zoom link. Oh, well, it won't let me do it here because it's a demo account. But if you have Zoom connected, you can do this, and it will automatically populate all of your meetings of this particular type with your Zoom link. So this cancel and reschedule. So this is an interesting one. This, if you turn it on, will allow people to add into, let's say that 2 hours before and they want to cancel or reschedule, they can come do this. Now, one of the things that we've been finding is when you leave this on, it does increase your cancellation and rescheduling. And this is going to be up to you, because do you want to waste your time with people who would have canceled but weren't able to? Or do you feel like you'd rather people cancel and up to the minute, right? So, and there is a place where we can again fix that, but that is kind of just something for conversation for you to think about. You can write a good description. The good description is, I'm going to typically say it's going to be your value proposition, right? Why are they meeting with you? What is in it for them? Okay. So from here, somehow it's hidden. There we go. We'll go here next, right? Now you can set up, so let's say this is a call that you charge for. You could create a payment link and turn this on. Again, scheduling title, meet with Heather Langendorfer. Oh, sorry, that's up here. So this is going to be the, let's see if we are a fit, right? And that's going to show up there. This is going to appear based on the settings that you have in your HubSpot app. I set mine up in my account and they all show up really pink. And that's fine, but it's account defaults, branding. So it's going to be driven by this, and it's not as flexible as I would like, right? Because when you go digging into here, which we're not going to do today, you will set some various colors based on various things, and it doesn't give you specific adjustment within your meeting thing. So that's the only downside here, but it's fine. So you can pick how long, coming back to this, you can pick how long you want your meetings to be. You can let people choose. I find that people don't look when they're choosing, they don't look. And it's sometimes they will always select whatever is the first one. So this is another good reason to have a specific meeting type. So a discovery call, you might just always want it to be 30 minutes. You select your time zone. You can select your availability windows. One of the things I really like about this is I like to have chunks of time that are dedicated for certain types of meetings. And so you can set this. And so let's say you only do discovery calls on Monday. So now people can only book a discovery call on Monday. You can decide whether you want to consider working hours. But what you would have to do, and this is going to depend, like if people are scheduling meeting with other people on your team, then it depends what your people's work schedules are. So that is kind of what that is. Assign, yeah, see, here it is. Okay. I'm not sure why the demo account, so you could see where we've been looking, it doesn't give this opportunity for a meeting type. But in a typical account, you will have that. And these are the ones that you created. right? And so this allows you to have time scheduled for certain things. This, for example, is a paid link for me. And so it allows me to have a specific meeting set up that's going to be paid versus unpaid. So a couple other things that I want to kind of talk about. So part of the advanced setup is you can ask custom questions that help you qualify while booking, right? So for example, you might want to understand whether or not somebody in your funnel has a budget or whether they can meet your budget. So what you would do to create that, go next page, is you would go to the form, right? And you can add these questions in. And that will allow you to, when the meeting request shows up for you, you can stop and you can say, okay, these people told me that they have no budget. So maybe what you do is you send them an email. You could have this set up already inside of your templates that says, hey, thank you so much. It doesn't seem like we're going to be a good fit. I'm not able to make this meeting, whatever feels like the right way to do it. One thing that is a pro tip on this is to provide them with a resource to learn and grow for themselves, right? So I'm sorry I'm not able to make this meeting, but here is my handy dandy cheat sheet on how to whatever they were hoping to get from you. So you are not spending and investing your time, but you will also be able to see that people came through that came through and were interested. And so at some point in the future, maybe what you want to do is, offer something that is a different price point that they can afford, right? So that's just an interesting thing, is having those. You can allow guests. This is also important. Do you allow your customers to include other guests? I think that's always a good idea. But it really depends on kind of you and your business. Another thing that I want to talk about is how to improve people showing up and how to improve, right? Because what we're trying to talk about here is how to reduce the friction along the process. And when you book something and you have a meeting and somebody doesn't show up, right? There's been a leak. So you can set up the confirmation page. You can also direct to, so you can make a page that you direct to. This could be a landing page. A good practice on this landing page is going to be to include your next steps, any materials and preps that they would need in order to get ready for the call. But back to the confirmation, so you can schedule an automated email through your sequences that reminds them and follows up. So that will help reduce cancellations. And sometimes they are cancellations just because they forget, right? So that's where you want to kind of just be reminding them. I like to remind people 24 hours in advance. I really, really don't like when I get 16 email reminders for a single meeting, so I tend to not do it that way. But you do have those options depending on kind of your audience and what works for you. So some other things that you can do, and kind of 3 challenges that I'll offer to you today, is could you add social proof to your booking page? So now you know how to set up your meeting tools for maximum conversion, but here's the thing, your meeting conversion rate is just one piece of your sales acceleration process, right? Sales acceleration puzzle. So if you want to see how your entire sales process measures up, I invite you to go to www.revenuejuice.com/vitality and take our short assessment. So I would invite you to do that. And it is a short questionnaire, but it will allow you to get a good insight into how your revenue ops is stacking up. So this is all for today. Thank you so much and have an amazing afternoon.